The Center for Reservoir and Aquatic Systems Research is a partnership between the City of Waco and Baylor University, and it's focused on aquatic research and real-world aquatic issues. In addition to research, we also do education and outreach, and our partner in most of that effort is the Lake Waco wetland, and at the wetland we're able to do teacher workshops and field trips and all sorts of education and outreach events. Sustainability in the swamp is a project that we initiated to help teachers learn about how precious our water resources are. Depending on what grade level they're at, we give them activities that they can do in their classrooms to teach about water education, and then we give them resources, stipends, and make the connections for them so that they can take their students on water-related field trips. And then they are the ones who can best figure out how that fits into their particular curriculum. Educating young students about water is critical because we're not making any more of it, really. Texas has suffered through a lot of droughts in recent years. Our population is increasing rapidly. We're in a high growth area. So the demands on water, which is a critical resource, are only going to become greater as we go forward into the future. So it's very, very important for Texans to learn about and understand our water resources, and the younger we can start with that, the more knowledge they have, the more invested they are, the more informed citizens they become, and they'll be the future leaders and decision makers when it comes to water policies.
And so we've been a part of this from the very beginning. And each year we do, as I mentioned, a field trip where we come to the wetlands and we do water testing at the area rivers. And then we've also added the wastewater treatment plant into our field trip. And the kids are just fascinated by the purification process or the cleaning process of the sewage. This makes science real. You can do all the testing you want to in the classroom, but it doesn't mean a lot to them until they actually get out and they see it.
And so I'm often asked if the Lake Waco wetland is going to save Lake Waco because of water quality benefits, and the answer is no. We don't put enough water through Lake Waco wetland to make that big a difference on the lake, but it might save Lake Waco in the long term because we have thousands of kids coming out here, and these kids are going to grow up to be voting adults, and they're going to understand a lot more about water resources and some of the challenges of water. One of the big things that I'm excited about the partnership is being able to reach a group of people, teachers and school kids in the area that we normally wouldn't get a chance to influence. That's really the outreach education part of this, really takes us to a different population of students. And they're really important because there are no silver bullets for solving environmental problems. These are going to be hard decisions voters are going to have to make.
This workshop is really beneficial to my curriculum. It allows me to get my students out into, our environment, and we actually do some of the testing, water quality testing for dissolved oxygen, and in my classroom in a lab activity. So we get to come here and do the same thing plus more tests, and then actually dip for macroinvertebrates. There are some things that we can do in the lab and modeling the situation, but there's just some things that we can't actually do in my little lab. So coming out here is extremely beneficial. It shows that science is alive and happening all the time and really relates what we teach in the class directly to their lives. It's the best way to teach.